There's a strange kind of quiet that only appears when you're home. Not silence, something deeper. The soft hum of a refrigerator, the faint creak of a floorboard, the still air that feels almost protective. And in that quiet, there's a question most people never ask. Why does this place feel safer than the entire world outside? People assume staying home means you're hiding, avoiding life, or shrinking yourself. But what if the truth is far more unsettling? What if your comfort isn't weakness, but a psychological signal your mind has been trying to send for years? Because psychologists have discovered something deeper, something most people never notice about the ones who choose solitude over noise. And today, you're going to finally understand it. The hidden safety mechanism. The moment you walk through your door, something invisible happens inside your body. Your brain finally stops scanning for threats. The world outside is full of noise, bright lights, sudden voices, unexpected demands. Your nervous system is constantly working, constantly bracing, constantly decoding everything around you. That's why even a normal day can leave you feeling drained in ways you can't explain. But at home, the system powers down. The heartbeat slows. The mind stops defending itself. That familiar quiet becomes a kind of emotional anesthesia, softening everything you've been carrying. It's not avoidance. It's your biology protecting you from overstimulation and burnout. And here's the part people rarely admit. Have you felt this too? That deep exhale the moment the door closes. Because if you have, it's not random. It's the first clue to something much deeper. Childhood origins. For many people who love staying home, the story didn't start in adulthood. It began years earlier, in crowded classrooms, loud hallways, packed school buses where every sound felt sharper, every glance heavier, every moment just a little too much. Sensitive minds notice everything, even when they're young. So instead of fighting the chaos, they quietly built inner worlds, places inside themselves where the noise couldn't reach. Home wasn't an escape back then. It was the only environment that didn't demand performance. The only space where their emotions didn't need translating. The only place where their nervous system wasn't on high alert. And here's the unsettling question most people never ask. What if your love for home began earlier than you think? A survival instinct, long before you had words for it. Mask fatigue and social exhaustion. Every time you step outside, a version of you goes with it. The polite voice, the practiced smile, the controlled reactions. It's a social mask, and most people wear it without even realizing how heavy it is. You adjust your tone, your posture, your energy, constantly shaping yourself to fit the moment. And by the end of the day, you're exhausted. Not from people, but from performing. Home is the only place where that mask quietly dissolves, where your shoulders drop, where your breathing deepens, where the public version of you finally steps aside so the real you can come forward. That moment, when you sit down and feel your entire body exhale, isn't laziness. It's psychological relief. It's the mind saying, finally, I can breathe. But this isn't just emotional. Your body knows it too. If insights like this help you understand yourself more clearly, consider subscribing. This channel is for people who want depth, not noise. People who want to know why they feel the way they do. Stay with us as we go even deeper. Overstimulation versus alignment. Some people move through the world with heightened sensitivity. Their minds pick up every shift in tone, every flash of light, every layer of sound beneath the surface. To others, it's nothing. To them, it's a flood. That's why the outside world drains them so quickly. It's not a lack of strength, it's an overflow of input. And the quiet they feel at home isn't isolation, it's regulation. It's their nervous system finally working at the right rhythm instead of constantly sprinting. In silence, the emotions they've been carrying all day finally have space to settle. Thoughts that were tangled begin to unravel. Feelings that were pushed aside rise gently to the surface. This is why home doesn't just feel peaceful. There's a reason home feels spiritual. The spiritual layer of solitude. Home has become the modern sanctuary, not because it's quiet, but because it's the one place where your body finally stops defending itself. In a low-threat environment, cortisol drops, tension loosens, and your mind slowly unclenches. That's why you sometimes feel emotions rise the moment you're alone. It's not sadness, it's decompression. It's everything you held in all day finally having room to breathe. You're not getting emotional for no reason. You're experiencing what psychologists call an internal reset. Your guard falls, your thoughts soften, and the deeper layers of you step forward. This is why solitude often feels sacred, almost spiritual, like meeting yourself again after being away too long. But solitude also has a hidden power most people overlook. Solitude and creativity. When you're finally alone, something remarkable happens in the mind. The noise fades and clarity begins. Psychologists say that solitude switches the brain into a state called creative rest, where thoughts are no longer competing with outside distractions. That's why your biggest ideas appear in the shower, late at night, or during quiet moments at home, not in crowds, not in chaos. Einstein took long, silent walks for inspiration. Writers retreat to empty rooms. Artists disappear into their studios for hours. It's not coincidence, it's biology. Solitude fuels imagination because it frees the brain from performing for others. Yet society worships busyness. It praises constant motion, constant posting, constant doing, and quietly shames the very stillness that produces depth, insight, and originality. This is the paradox. The world benefits from your quiet mind, while simultaneously pressuring you to abandon it. But this gift comes with a misunderstood cost. The guilt and social pressure trap. Even people who love staying home often carry a quiet guilt they rarely talk about. A feeling that they're missing out, falling behind, or living life differently than everyone else. Social media magnifies this. Endless photos of parties, travel, crowds, and smiling faces create a constant pressure to perform happiness, a highlight reel that tricks you into believing everyone else is living more fully than you. But here's the truth. Most of those moments are staged, filtered, or fleeting. Real peace rarely looks good on camera. It happens in silence, in slow mornings, in the comfort of your own space, moments no one else sees. Staying home doesn't mean your life is small. It means your life is intentional. You're choosing quality over noise, depth over distraction, presence over pressure. Have you ever felt this guilt? That quiet tug between what the world expects and what your mind actually needs. Emotional depth and selective relationships. People who love staying home aren't cold or distant. They simply value depth over noise. They don't chase crowds, they don't crave constant interaction, and they don't collect shallow friendships. They choose relationships where presence matters more than performance, where silence feels comfortable, and where connection isn't forced. Because home lovers feel deeply. Their empathy is intense. They absorb people's moods, their energy, their unspoken emotions, and that level of sensitivity is beautiful, but it's also draining. So they guard their energy carefully. They give their attention slowly. And when they love with intention, not impulse. This is why their relationships tend to last longer. They don't bond with everyone. They bond with the right ones. But there's one truth everyone gets wrong, and it changes the entire story of why home feels so necessary. The true psychology of home lovers. Here's the truth almost everyone gets wrong. People who love staying at home are not avoiding the world. They are processing it more deeply than anyone else. What looks like silence from the outside is actually advanced emotional maturity on the inside. It takes strength to sit with your thoughts. It takes self-awareness to recognize when your mind needs slowing, not speeding. And it takes wisdom to choose alignment over approval. Home lovers aren't hiding. They're absorbing. They move through life differently, taking in meaning, noticing patterns, understanding emotions others rush past. That stillness the world judges, that's their superpower. It's where clarity forms, where identity strengthens, where emotional stability rebuilds itself. Home isn't an escape, it's evolution. A place where the mind resets, the heart recalibrates, and the real self rises without the pressure to perform. And this is the core psychology. The people who spend time alone aren't disconnected from life. They're connected to it in a deeper, quieter, more intentional way. They aren't missing out. They're tuning in. At the end of the day, loving the quiet isn't something to apologize for. It's a sign that you understand your own rhythm. You're not missing out. You're tuning in. You're choosing the kind of peace most people spend their whole lives searching for. If this video gave you clarity about yourself, consider subscribing. We create videos for people who feel deeply, think quietly, and want to understand their inner world without judgment. And before you go, tell me in the comments, where do you feel most at home? Whatever your answer is, remember this: your peace is valid.